Hi guys, it's Crystal with Design Bundles. Today we're going to talk about what HTV is best for making t-shirts. So let's go ahead and dive right in. When it comes to HTV, there is a wide variety of products you can use, from regular HTV all the way down to glitter. So let's go over a few of those today. First up is basic HTV. So when it comes to your basic HTV, there is a ton of colors. I mean, hundreds of colors to choose from. So this is just going to be a super smooth. So for example, this is basic HTV. It's going to be smooth with the t-shirt. It's just going to have lots of different colors. You're really going to want to keep, your basic colors like white and black on hand. You'll use those more than you will your colors. But this is a basic HTV, and this is perfect for making t-shirts. Next up, we have some electric. This here is really pretty. It has like a shine to it. Different brands call them different names, but basically it is a basic HTV, just like I showed you before, but it's going to have a shine to it. So it's going to cut the exact same way, and this is another great one for making t-shirts. Next up, we have glitter HTV. Glitter HTV is going to really help your design pop. Say for example, if you have a layered SVG, you could take one of those layers. So say for example, this says mama, but it has a heart. I could do the heart with the glitter. So say for example, I could do this really pretty gold glitter, and it's just gonna help your design pop even more. Now you can do your entire design with this, but this is a really cool material to use. This is definitely thicker than your basic, so you do need to up those settings whenever you cut this, but this is also great for your t-shirts. Now when it comes to your glitter, you do not want to layer on top, so you don't want to take a basic and put it on top of a glitter. Glitter has to go on top. Now you can do something that's called a knockout design, and that's going to allow it to kind of sit in between, basically like a puzzle piece, and that's okay. But when it does come with your glitter, you definitely want to make sure this is going to be your top layer. Now, another note with glitter is there's different types of glitter. So say for example, Siser has this out. This is called Sparkle. And what's really cool about it is it's just like basic. It has the exact same settings, cut setting as your basic HTV. But what's really cool is it looks like glitter, but it's super smooth. So if you are somebody, or you know somebody that doesn't like the texture of glitter, because glitter does have a little bit of a itchy, scratchy. So whenever you rub your arms on your t-shirt, it kind of feels a little bit scratchy or itchy sometimes. So this is a great alternative. Like I said, this is Siser Sparkle. They also have Siser Twinkle, and it's a little bit of a thicker material. But I do recommend this one whenever it comes to the t-shirt over the Twinkle, because I think this just really lays nicely. It's going to be super smooth, like I said, your basic, and they have several colors to choose from. So I do recommend that you guys try this stuff out when it comes to making t-shirts. Next up, we have Flock. It comes in several colors as well. I think a basic color would be black to keep on hand if you want to add some colors, especially Valentine's Day, Christmas, and things like that. Do your reds and pinks and things like that. Now, there's not a whole lot of colors to choose from whenever it comes to Flock. There's neon colors, which is a ton of fun. But what's really cool about Flock is it feels like velvet. So if you guys have ever purchased a t-shirt and it had like this velvet feel, that's what it is. So it is definitely a thicker material. Once again, it's almost a little bit thicker than glitter, so you are going to have to up those settings once again. But if you peel a corner back, you can feel it and see that it's Flock. It's a really nice material to work with. Once again, this is going to help pop your designs, especially if you have a layered SVG, once again, just to give it that extra little pop. The very next one is Siser Brick. So if you guys have seen Siser Brick before, this is great for t-shirts, but it's also great for hats. I really love to use this on hats to give it that 3D effect. This is almost like a thick rubber. So this is definitely a thicker material than Flock. So you definitely want to up those settings once again, but this is a great material to add like a dimension 3D effect to a t-shirt. So it's like super thick rubber, like I said, but I really, really love this for hats more than t-shirts, but I definitely thought I would mention it today. Now some more fun ones here is holographics. These come in several different colors. This is Siser once again. Lots of different brands have different ones, and they have different names as well, but this is holographic, and what's cool is it shifts in the light. So depending on how it's setting or moving, those colors will shift, and each one you can get greens and yellows and pinks and purples, all sorts of different colors for this holographic. This is, once again, to do a solid design with this is a ton of fun, as well as just adding in with those layers is the way that I really love to do this as well. So this is another great one for your t-shirts. Another really cool one, this just looks like a basic white HTV. So once you turn off the lights, it glows in the dark. So that's another ton of fun. This one, once again, is Siser. Several different brands do carry this, but it glows in the dark. So this is perfect for your Halloween projects and things like that. So I really like it too because it looks white, just a basic t-shirt. You're walking around during the day, but at night it glows. Another great one is your patterns. So when it comes to patterns, there's a few different things you want to keep an eye for. Every brand is different. So some of them have the carrier sheet on top, just like all of this material I just showed you today has a carrier sheet. That's one of the top questions I get for beginners is, where do you get that carrier sheet? It should be attached to your materials. Unless you purchase materials from certain brands, they don't put this on here. They have that separate, so you can purchase it separate. They believe it's kind of a waste to put that on, and then the costs do go up. So for example, this one does not have a carrier sheet on it. This one actually has a backing sheet, if you will, that makes it stable to cut, and then we'd peel that away before we actually put it on our t-shirt. And then if you had several pieces, you'd want a carrier sheet. But say, for example, I was cutting one big circle out, I wouldn't need that carrier sheet. I'd just cover it with parchment and press it. So that's another little tip. And the way to tell if you have a backer, you could get a little corner here and see. So for example, where this one has the carrier sheet, it doesn't have a backer. So if it doesn't have a top carrier, it has a backer. If it has a carrier, it's on the front. So that's something to keep in mind. Check your brands out and see, does it carry, does it have the carrier sheet or not? But when it comes to patterns, they are also a ton of fun. Also, when it comes to patterns, you don't want to layer these on top of each other as well. So you don't want this to be your bottom layer. You also want this to be your top layer. Next up, I saved the fun ones for last. I consider these ones magic. They're really cool and fun to play around with. So let's go ahead and start off with Starcraft foil. These come in really big rolls, and what you need is it's a two-step process. You're going to need your foil, but you're also going to need clear HTV. So this is Siser clear HTV, and what it's going to do is leave down our clear HTV, and then we will press the foil on top of it, and when we're done, we have this really cool foil effect. So this is a ton of fun to play around with. I do recommend, if you do use this, to use it with your heat press. Now, with any of these, you can use with your heat press or your Crooked Easy Press, but when I've personally used this, I like it more with the heat press. You're really gonna need that pressure. So if you guys wanna play around with this, definitely recommend using it with a heat press. But this is the Starcraft foil. Last up, we have Puff. Puff is a great HTV for making t-shirts. This is going to give a 3-dimension to your projects. So this is great to have one big design, or if you want to add in some pieces in your layered SVGs. What this stuff is, think of a piece of popcorn kernel, but once you pop that popcorn, it puffs up. That's what this is going to do. So at first you're going to press it. It'll look like basic HTV. You're going to press it and it's going to puff up. It's really, really cool. So I do recommend that you guys at least try this once. You guys are going to love it. So this is another great one. So those are all of the HTVs. I'm sure I'm missing some, but there is a wide variety of HTVs to use on your t-shirts. I hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.